are now live. Chat room, let us know if you can hear Gomez weeing.
I need to...
But can you see his wee?
That's going to be the first thing that people see on YouTube. Thanks, Zod.
You are the one.
If we get taken down because of that, you are to be blamed.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't the one showing my wee on the chat room.
I wasn't showing anything.
What?
We have not.
All right, Sybil's here. We can begin.
But we have not received confirmation. Of course, it's probably going to be about 15 seconds delayed. So.
Yeah.
We finally got the video in sync. Now the chat room's out of sync. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they can see us. Sweet.
All right. Thank you, Apples.
Okay, and
we recording?
Yes.
Okay.
We have been.
Oh, good.
We are streaming. We're recording. I think we are ready to do a show.
Okay.
All right. Where's the document?
Yeah, Ludra to the top of the document, please.
Wait, I don't know. Is Rado here? Is he in the chat?
Yes. Rado was actually, I think, here before any of us were here.
Wait, we can't start yet. Sybil doesn't
Look for the yellow hat.
The yellow sign? What?
The yellow hat. He wears a yellow hat.
Yeah, we have video. I see video.
Wait a second. He's Curious George's friend?
Yeah, the man in the red or yellow hat.
Chat room confirms we exist on the internet.
Sybil
has video.
Apple S has video.
All right, well, so we'll have to catch up.
Yep.
Can you see my beautiful bright smile?
Yes.
That's all I can say.
Okay.
Your face is going to stick that way.
Ladies and gentlemen, are we ready?
It has stuck.
Please start.
Fingers on the go button?
Yes.
All right, we're going to begin in 5, 4, 3, 2. On this episode of the AIE Podcast.
Update all the things!
Mine?
Hello, Tokyo.
Take a cruise in space.
And we have Cav and Duras here to catch us up on Wildstar cupcakes.
All that and more coming up right now. Bringing you the latest news from the AIE gaming community from planet Earth and beyond. This is the AIE Podcast.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the AIE Podcast, episode 195, the Die Has Been Podcast, broadcasting from beautiful Northern California. This is Gomez. Hey, party people. And joining me from only a quarter of the state away is Aludra.
Hey, AIE, Gomez is awesome.
And coming at us out to the deep south, out in central Alabama, is Accuzod.
Greetings, this is Cupcake. I mean Accuzod.
So hey, all three people are here, and I apologize to everyone who has tried to use the website in the past week. I apparently broke many things trying to get the show to stream live, so I believe it is all taken care of now. I believe we are all fixed. So, Zod, what has been going with you in the past 2 weeks?
Work. I think I mentioned in one of the previous shows I'm on that tough development cycle where I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and work until 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So I'm glad I had a podcast. I had an excuse to leave work and come home and do something other than sit in front of the computer all night. Wait a minute.
I think you miscalculated there, Zod.
So other than that, I've been playing a lot of Heroes of the Storm because, of course, I love that game. I've reached level 27, and I'm burning it up, trying to max it out. Having a
Is it 30?
I can't remember if it's 35 or 40, actually. I'll tell you when I get there. I'm definitely going to try to get there before they wipe all the accounts again.
When your experience bar stops moving.
Yeah, when it does or I do, one of the two. I'm not sure which. But that is how my week has been going. Aludra, how's your week been going?
Well, I am level 3 in Heroes of the Storm. Yeah, that's right. But mostly because I think that game would be more fun with friends, and I never seem to catch Accuzod.
I am always on. When are you there?
I am on different times, clearly.
You're probably on when I'm at work.
Probably. And then, let's see. I'm a level 20 Fisher Dude in Final Fantasy. Ooh.
Fisher Dude?
Yeah, that's what I called my fisherman spec, is Fisher Dude. I renamed it Fisher Dude. I don't ask. But today I fished my way up to level 20. Yeah, I'm awesome. Look out, guys, because I fish. Let me see. I have gotten into the Warcraft Alpha. And let me tell you, this is an alpha. This is such an alpha. Like, Heroes of the Storm is an alpha, and you're like, wow, this is a full game. I don't see why it's alpha. But no, I'm in the Warcraft alpha, and it's like, this is an alpha. This is such an alpha. I can totally see that this gets an alpha tag. So, Blizzard, be more consistent with your alpha tags, please.
Did you say something earlier about like a mage was walking around leaving raptor trails or something?
Raptor tracks.
Yes, my mage, female blood elf, because pandas can't be in the freaking alpha. She's running around, and as she's running in the snow, because, you know, there's snow, there's raptor tracks being left, like dinosaur three-toed, clawed, and I'm just like, oh, this is so right. This is just the best thing. Blood elf females shown for what they are in the snow.
I just have this mental picture of you wearing those slippers, you know, that look like animal claws.
Oh, they make the Godzilla roaring noise as you run around the house.
I would so do that. Other than that, just a lot of Banished, really. I love that little city building game, and try not to feel too bad when everybody dies because they're banished. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, Gomez, what about you? What have you been up to?
I've been fighting off a viral infection all week. Yay! I had the flu like 4 weeks ago or something over the weekend, and that went away pretty quickly. And this week I've just been kind of laid up, and it's not like I didn't have a fever, but the doctor's like, yeah, you shouldn't be in an office because this will spread to everyone else in the office. So I've been working from home. Thankfully, they've been very, very gracious in allowing me to do so. But it is also means like, oh, well, I have to sit at home all weekend. I'll just play Wildstar. Woo! So I will be definitely discussing that later. I don't want to get into it too much, but thoroughly having a good time with the game. I think it's I think they're doing a really good job. And given it's the first week, servers are still up, people are still playing. I think we're in good shape for this to be a good game for the long haul. But
are you safe to be podcasting if you have a virus? Should I have antivirus software running?
Yes, you should have AVG
don't
running.
Have antiviral software running?
I hope you have updated your like Gomez, like the Noro-Gomez virus is going to come over the internet. So
it, but I don't take such chances.
Yes. Oh, yeah. No, you have to be careful with that. You have to be careful with that. So this week we are joined by special guest Cav and Duras, who are here to talk to us about AIE and Wildstar. And we will start with you, Cav. We need to know what you've been doing besides Wildstar, because we know we're going to get into that later. But what has been going with you? It's the first time on the show, correct?
Yeah. Tell us about yourself.
It is, sadly.
Sadly? This is a celebration.
It is, but I've been bugging Gomez to get on here for a while, even though I had nothing to say or talk about.
Yeah, no.
Oh my gosh, you were bugging the wrong person. You gotta go.
No. Until AIE actually had a presence in Wildstar, our rule is games can't be on, because he wanted to come on and talk about Wildstar, and I'm like, that's great. But until AIE is officially in the game, we can't do that, because otherwise our rotation would be like, well, we can get you on in 6 months, because if all the games that AIE was interested in, that would be, a much longer list.
Now, I gotta say, I'm gonna interject here suddenly, or quite quickly, maybe not so quickly. We are open next week for guests, so if anyone wants on the show, just tweet Aludra.
Oh no!
Score AIE.
Tweeting at Aludra right now. Anyways, I took this week off for the launch of Wildstar, and then
that is dedication.
Well, 3 weeks until I start my new job as a field technician for my company. So I'm very excited for that. That means I never have to go to the office again unless I need parts, which is
nice.
Very nice.
Other than that, I've as much as you guys say, don't talk about Wildstar, I really haven't had much of a chance to play Wildstar because of the other thing that I do, which is write for one of the bigger websites for Wildstar. So the 20 levels that I have worth of content in the game covered, about half of that has been because I've needed to get that high so I could write about the game. If it's there's all kinds of guides and whatnot that we're working on.
Are we allowed to ask who you write for?
I write for wildstarcore.com. It's wildstar-core.com.
Everybody tune in.
Yeah, which is also nexusreport.com, and there's a stream. There's a streaming. We have a network, kind of like if you know what Curse is, where they have a network of games, or ZAM, which is what I believe Wowhead is part of. Stuff like that. We have a bunch of different websites that are under that label. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I write for them. I'm the senior writer for them. So other than Sylvie,
You don't look that old.
trust me, I've got a kid. I've got gray hair coming in all over the place. So,
well, and also, senior writer on the internet also might mean, hey, I'm mature and have actually done some work, and thus, like, I have been put to the top of the heap. So yeah, that is definitely a good thing. But congratulations and welcome to the show. So Duris, you were on just a couple weeks ago talking about the very process that got Wildstar in. So what has been going on with you in the past couple weeks? Oh, okay.
I think it's the lack of that that's been getting to him, actually.
Oh, well, I'm glad to be back, of course. And now, because I would have been pestering you too, but I knew the law, right? I was just biding my time, lurking in the shadows, pushing Cav in front of me. Lead this thing. But no, it's. I've been looking forward to Wildstar for since 2009 or so.
Yeah.
So it's nice to.
Like the last time, I was like, no.
Does anyone remember what it used to be called?
Oh, wow.
It used to have another name.
I
do. Other names.
Yeah, at least. The little shot glasses with the lops on them. Remember those? No?
Do not.
Okay, well, see there. I'm showing my Wildstar age. But at any rate, it was good to see the game launch. Outside that, I've been working, being a dad. Summer camp started this week, so the summer schedule is all mixed up, shuttling 2 toddlers back and forth to their various activities. So it's leading a dad life, trying to find some time for gaming.
Well, cool. So we will be digging into all of the goodness that is Wildstar shortly, but first, let's cover this week's news.
AIE News.
For those of you in AIE World of Warcraft, you might want to check your Battle.net account and make sure you've selected all the beta options. Blizzard has launched the alpha for the Warlords of Draenor expansion, and invites have been going out hot and heavy this week. Though Blue Posts admit that it was mostly Blizzard community influencers that have been selected in the first wave along with friends and family, don't lose heart. More invites are sure to hit soon, and to be honest, you really aren't missing much. Because alpha, and I mean alpha, you can't be a panda.
So I got my invite last night before. I started the download, and I haven't even had time to log in yet. So I'm glad I'm not missing anything.
Yeah, I played 5 quests, and then we ran out of quests. It was kind of like...
You won! Yay!
I won the alpha!
Max level, yeah!
Alright, so did you get your Double Valor? The Double Valor buff is still going strong until June 10th. In case you missed it, Blizzard is rewarding Double Valor for all the things, such as dungeons, quests, boss kills, and turning in your Timeless Isle coins. Unfortunately, they did not double the Valor cap, which means that it is simply faster than ever to get everybody to cap. Yeah.
Well, it just means you need to buy things.
Yeah, but because you can only earn 1,000 a week.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, it means you don't have to grind as long to hit your weekly cap. I kind of like that.
Yeah, it took me about 3 hours.
Wow.
3 hours on this Timeless Isle. I just turned in all the quests and was like,
I've got like 6 level 90, so I could definitely use that.
Azeroth Choppers is airing their final episode starting today, June 5th, announcing the winner of the community's vote for Best Motorcycle. The winning faction will get a free mount in-game. I'm not sure what's going to happen with the other bike. Do they explode it? Because that'd be really Mythbusters, and I might tune in for that.
They're going to see if it blends.
Anybody been watching?
I have not, actually. I have to admit, barely have had time to do anything, so that's one of the things I've kind of delayed. I'm more of a binge watcher anyway. I wait till they're done, and then I watch the whole thing all at once.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I'm dying for Game of Thrones season to be over.
So you can just like sit down and spend 8 hours watching all of the season.
Oh, I can't stand it. It's like there's a lot of people that talk about that, like Netflix and everything. They're like, oh, binge watching is the new thing. It's true.
Totally. Yeah, we're watching How I Met Your Mother right now. My family and I were just binge watching it like crazy.
Good.
Sorry, I sidetracked you from the news. Apologize.
Not a problem, because hey, we were all talking about television anyway.
All I gotta say about that is I cried.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I'm just saying.
All right. So today or tomorrow is the last day to change your BlizzCon ticket info. So if you haven't already, go. Make sure the info is correct. You don't want to miss out on BlizzCon because you didn't put your name on the ticket properly or something weird.
I do think it's tomorrow because I'm trying to get my hands on one, and no, tomorrow's my last day of hope. So.
Okay. That's it.
My turn next, sorry. I was off looking at the BlizzCon ticket sites as you mentioned that. Okay, so I'm easily distracted. Oh, look at that. So for the AIE spreadsheets in space, gang, CCP has just launched the next expansion for EVE Online called Kronos. It comes with updated ship models, graphics, new warp in and warp out animations, new ship animations, new sounds, and a whole lot more. Also, ValeGeek has announced a major mining operation to take place this Wednesday, June 11th, at 1:30 a.m. server time, which is like, who knows local time. I've given up trying to figure out Eve's time schedule. So,
yeah, that might be like UTC or something. I don't actually know.
So apparently there's a glitch in the game. If you undock a ship, it will eventually get blown up. So AIE Universal is trying to keep the cupboard stocked with ships, so they're doing the mining operation so they can build more ships, because they hand out free ships to AIE members like crazy. So I know I've blown up 3 or 4 of my own. So if you're into EVE, come on out and help them mine.
So with this new expansion, do they include someone who play the game for you and then summarize in 140 characters or less how much fun you had playing the game?
Yes,
you could probably arrange that.
They call that the training queue. You log in, you do your training, and then you log off for a week or 2.
Okay, so the Secret World is happy to announce that Tokyo is finally here. They just missed it by a week. They were on last week. They were really hoping it was going to be out by then, but they had to push it, and they didn't have to push it that far, fortunately. So Funcom released Issue 9, The Black Signal, this week, which brings a new chapter to the game's storyline, new Aegis gear, improvements, and the Zone of Tokyo. Not to mention, it's been made of a possible... Oh, no mention. Sorry, not mention. Wow.
Take that one over again.
No mention has been made of a possible giant lizard attack, but it is a Secret World and Tokyo, so yeah, who knows?
It'll be Mothra, actually. They're gonna throw that curveball. Mothra's gonna come, and everybody's gonna be like, "We were expecting a giant lizard," and then they're gonna put spotlights on Mothra, and then so that'll be counterproductive.
I have to ask, who all's seen the new Godzilla?
I have not.
It was fantastic. I liked it. It was really good.
After the last one, I just couldn't chance it.
No, erase that from your mind. Go and see one without that movie in your mind as being a Godzilla movie. This is a return to like classic Godzilla. I thought it was really good.
It's great. I really enjoyed it, and I oddly enough, don't hang me for this, I actually enjoyed the one from the 90s or whatever it was, but this one was
too Matthew Broderick-y.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I agree.
It's now an adjective.
Yeah.
I like him in other things. Just this, it was like, no, I don't know what's going on with that one. So, but yeah, definitely go see it. Aludra.
I'm just trying to picture Godzilla here. All right, so guess what else updated? Final Fantasy demands not to be outdone by all this updating, beta, and new episode fun, and has launched patch 2.28. If you want to see patch notes that put the other games to shame and frankly are crazy thorough, go check them out. This patch makes many awesome quality of life changes, such as buffing duty roulette rewards, fixing broken bits, and just plain making the menus easier to navigate. So
that's a welcome change.
Yes, I did.
All right,
I did. And we found you, Zod. That was a test.
Did they fix the glitch where you can see giant men wearing maid outfits in the game?
No, that's a part of the game.
Intended.
Oh.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I might have to play this. I mean, no, that sounds horrible. Okay, for the AIE Star Trek Online gang, Perfect World has announced the grand prize of this year's Riza Summer event, which is going on right now. Players who complete the event reputation will earn the Riza Luxury Liner. This ship is even more customizable than last year's Riza Corvette and comes with a powerful weapon called the Sultan Wave Generator. It's basically just a big Princess Cruise Line ship in space. So the summer event looks...
It's like, of all the ships to have, it's like, hey, here's a luxury cruise liner. Oh, it has a super powerful weapon on it. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So the summer event looks like a lot of fun, and of course, SGO is free to play, so get out there and explore.
And a quick reminder from Ralph, AIE has a Diablo 3 gaming community. More information on how to join can be found on the wiki, and if Diablo is not your kind of game, odds are that AIE members are playing something else that you will enjoy, so the wiki will have information on those as well. Hit up the Imperium Ludi forums to find the plethora of games that we are into. This is a great time to be a gamer. I mean, we're approaching summer, so who wants to go outside? Come on in. It's even better to be an AIE.
And I will say this about Diablo 3. If you did play Diablo earlier, back when it launched, and you have not tried it since, play it. It's worth it. It's a lot of fun.
Actually, I have not played it since it first came out, so I'm going to have to.
Yes, you are. You totally are.
I just have it for PS3.
Much better.
I just have it for PS3, so I can't actually play any of the new shinies.
Aww.
Oh no, you've got. I thought you had improved loot on
That's
that one.
fine. That's fine, Gomez. You have Wildstar now. You don't need
That
any other
is
games.
true. That's very, very true.
For those that might be new to the community, don't forget you can hang out with AIE members outside of games as well. We have our own Ventrilo server for voice chat and our own Jabber server for text chat, so you can kick it with AIE even when you're stuck at work. Information on both of these can be found on the wiki.
And finally, one of AIE's favorite community members, Kim Price, wrote in to let us know that Doghouse Systems just announced a partnership with Blizzard to produce World of Warcraft-themed PCs. Yes, you can now get a screaming new gaming rig with an official Blizzard Horde artwork on the case. Or if you really want to, I guess you can get an Alliance design, maybe, if you really don't want the coolest PC possible.
Or you could totally, get an Eludra's Pets PC. Which is her Battle Pets PC, huh? And if you use the code Battle Pets, you get double the memory. I promise.
Nice.
I know.
So, and now to hear about the newest addition to the AIE gaming pantheon, AIE Wildstar. We all want cupcakes. Yeah, cupcakes. So
No. Everyone was supposed to say that.
And no one did. So
I didn't see the note.
It's in red. I put it. All right.
It wasn't flashing. You didn't use the blink tag.
Exactly.
I'll put it on flaming tiled background too.
Yeah, there we go. I see it now.
90s.
So Cav, someone tricked you into, I think we all know who tricked you now, he's already admitted to it, into leading up the effort into AIE Wildstar. So let us know what's going on with this totally awesome game.
Well, it's a game.
Okay.
It's cartoony. Actually, it's one of the best comparisons I've heard of it, which my wife said. She said it looks like Ratchet and Clank gone MMO.
That's a pretty apt description, actually.
Yeah, give it crude humor.
This can't come into my house. Oh gosh, this can't come into my house. No, you don't understand. In the back room back there, they're obsessed with Ratchet and Clank. They're fighting over it right now.
Newsflash.
We have all
it's
of them.
already in your house.
The game is in your house.
Game on, man. Game on.
Every time somebody says that in your house, I think there was a commercial in the 90s. There was a beer commercial, and there was just this creepy penguin. And it just ended where he goes, doobie, doobie, doo.
Oh, yeah. What was that even an ad for?
It was for beer.
Was it okay? That's right. I believe it was like one of the Budweiser stream of bizarre ads that they had. Yes.
That creeped me out.
Don't drink,
the
kids.
The original.
Stay in school.
The original. It's the calls coming from inside the house. The penguin just made it so much more creepy. But anyways,
the Bud Ice penguin. Yes.
So Wildstar is the new hotness. It came out on Tuesday. The pre-launch came out. What was it? Saturday? Yeah, Saturday at 3 a.m.
Well, it was Friday at midnight for me, but
it will
just
the
call Saturday.
Launch started at about 3 a.m. and actually launched sometime thereafter.
I did not stay up. I tried to log in. I'm like, well, it's not up. Oh well, I will go to bed and then wake up and play at a reasonable hour.
After Kev's done telling us more about the game, I'll go into a few details about the launch just to satisfy that curiosity.
Okay.
Well, I actually had the same plan. I went to bed at like 11 o'clock. I'm like, okay, I'll get a good start. You know, MMOs never launch correctly. I'll give it a couple hours to iron out. No, I ended up staying up until 3 a.m. with my wife watching The Legend of Korra Season 1 all the way through. So I was up until 3 a.m., not meaning to be. But, yeah, the game actually has gone, in my opinion, very well for an MMO launch. You know, minor bugs here and there, but otherwise the game, the server queues is the big issue. You know, too many people, not enough servers. The reason for that, though, is that they've left the servers small enough so that after the initial 30 days, those people go away. That will leave room for everybody else without having dead servers, which is
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
So.
And I know we talked about this a little bit in pre-show, but Star Wars, although had a really fantastic launch, like one of the better launches, they spun up way too many servers and were giving, you know, realm transfers and everything else. And then after the free month wore off and some people decided that it wasn't for them, they all of a sudden had way too many empty servers and then needed to start collapsing things again. This way they're going to, you know, initially have, you know, crowded servers, but the crowded server, it's not a problem once you get in the game. Especially because of the
elaborate name reservation thing they had in advance collapsed because then people had to change their names as they consolidated servers and it wasn't great.
Yeah. Wildstar is not. I mean, they're spinning up servers as they need to. Cougar, who is the head honcho when it comes to that, has plainly said, "Look, we're trying to keep dead servers from happening. So if it counts for, you know, people having to wait in a queue for an hour, you know, give it a month. You know, you have a free month of gameplay. Give it that time, and after that time, if you don't like it or if we have issues, we'll spin up the servers." So it's something that in the long run will help. It upset a lot of people, as you can imagine, because internet's. I think it'll help in the long run.
But yeah, so you mentioned as we were talking in the pre-show that you're only level 20. What's going on there, man?
Why you gotta bring up? Why are you bringing up old stuff?
Aww.
She calls me out like that.
I'm only level 14, but I also have a level 10 and a level 3.
Yeah.
Like a level.
Who are these crazy people? Are they just not sleeping? Like, I'm not sleeping that well either, but it's because I'm sick, not because I'm playing the game for hours.
I asked him when Spider 1 is the one we're talking about. He's level, I believe, 38, and he was. I asked him. I said, "Are you sleeping?" And he goes, "Yeah, I got like 5 hours of sleep the other night." I'm like, "Okay." The dude's also rich. So let me point this out. When we had the name reserves come up, you could the Wildstar names are global, and you basically have. I believe it was 17 days after the game launched to claim your name, and then it was free for anybody to grab. Well, you could also reserve a guild name, and so the guild name was reserved by Kazric, and we had him. We chained him up, so we made sure he was at his computer, and then we force fed him, all kinds of nasty stuff so that he could get away from us quicker. But he got up to level 12. He got 10 golds and created a guild. And it was really cool. He put in a good chunk of time as soon as the servers went up to do that. and people started throwing gold at him to get the guild up and running. So that was very cool of him. Very happy for that. So.
Yeah, no, I mean,
and he's in the chat room. Hey guys, thanks, buddy.
He is.
And it was amusing to me that I made the first character that I played, which is actually not Gomez, it's actually OTTA. That you can just see me on the guild or in the guild. And then I made Gomez last night, and I was like, no, I don't want that. So I ended up like making a second one. So thanks to the officers for being patient and multiple inviting people. I'm sure I'm not the only person who has done that with this game, simply because once you make your decision, those are the decisions that you are making. Like, you can't change your path, you can't change your class. You can certainly change your spec, but you cannot change your class like once it is, written in stone. So I do appreciate that the officers were
though I think there will be the ability to like change your appearance and stuff. And speaking of which, if you ever do get fond or fancy a particular setting, when you're creating your character in character generation, the very bottom of on the left side, you'll notice a little string that says, load or save character data. You can copy that encoded string, and it preserves all of your character settings. So
that's
before
just appearance.
You create the character. That's the appearance, and I think it's also the class and path as well. But you can manipulate those later. The appearance is the important thing. So if you're ever going to recreate the same look, make sure before you create that character and hit accept that first time you grab that code, because you can't get it after that.
Okay. So the guild is doing relatively well. Like it is the green wall, and of course it is green, so that's helpful. That it's they didn't change the color on us for guild chat. That's at least a good thing.
Very nice.
But you can change it if you want.
Yeah, you certainly can. I mean, I think you can in just about every game. But yeah,
you can make it pink if you wanted. That pink.
That'd be.
That's a meme. That's a wild
hard to look at.
Yeah. So yeah, the guild is doing very well. The last I checked, we were at over 270 characters. I think we're looking at maybe 30 or 40 of them are alts at this point. It's there. Every game comes with a guest pass, 3 guest passes rather. So if you are looking for a chance to play this game for a week, bug somebody that has a guest pass. There's already been some people floating around on the official AIE forums, and they are going to be there putting up guest passes. There was one of the things that people wanted me to mention, that if you're looking for guest passes, go to the forums, ask for them. People will put them up for you, or they will contact you with them. So other than that, the guild is doing very well. We are planning on actively recruiting in Wildstar. We're going to let the guild settle down a bit, get everybody in, get the first month out, and due to the game having a prescription? No. Subscription. The game does have a $15 a month subscription, like other MMOs. If you pay 6 months in advance, a year in advance, whatever, it does go down month to month. So, but along with that, there is also cred, which allows you. Cred is, to put it simply, it's like Plex and Eve. There's some differences, but other than that, that's basically what it is. You buy cred from the store, from Carbine themselves, and then you can sell it in-game on the cred exchange. They have a nice little auction house type deal, kind of like Guild Wars 2 has their gems. I believe it's the auction house prices will fluctuate based on the economy. Carbine is definitely going to keep a close eye on that, so that people aren't gaming the system or anything like that. What do they call it? Proper use of game mechanics. So.
Oh yes, not breaking the ULA.
Yeah, exactly. So as long as they're playing by the rules, you can spend the one thing with it is that the game subscription is $15 a month. Cred costs $20. So, but the main reason for cred is it gives somebody that has a lot of time the ability to buy their time to play the game with in-game gold. It also gives the ability for people to sell cred for in-game gold if you're running low. So, yeah, I think that's it on that for the.
Yeah, one thing to mention, a few people pointed out in the chat room as well. With the guest passes, bear in mind that this is also sort of a account. You don't have any priority in the queues that you are seeing right now. And admittedly, queues were a big problem initially, but now at least on Storm Talon, I'm usually getting in within 12 minutes to a half an hour, even though the queue times may suggest far more time.
Oh, yeah, and that's a good thing to mention. Look at the number of people in front of you in the queue. Do not look at the time. Because the time's like, 4.5 hours, and then it drops to an hour and 15 minutes, and then 30 minutes, and then 15 minutes. So
and then it goes back up to 17 hours, and then you get in all of a sudden. You know,
so
don't
really
believe the numbers.
The number of people ahead of you in the queue is a probably more accurate thing to watch, but it's no indicator of actual time. Like the time indicator, I don't know why they included it. I think it was just
for the same reason software installations say this many more minutes left. 9%, 10%, 50%. You know, okay.
Yeah.
Carbine did tweet out that Carbine did express that about every 1,000 people is roughly an hour for how long you're going to wait. Just so you guys know.
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
But also,
I'm all talking
guest passes cannot. So it's really just to give you a taste.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you are even considering,
but that doesn't make sense to me because.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, all right. No,
all right.
Really.
One of you go.
But if you're even considering picking up the game, see now look at this latency because internet. If you're even considering picking up the game, though, look for all the coupon codes that everyone is basically sharing right now. It's like I've seen it 20% off, 30% off. So now's a good time to pick it up if you're even considering it.
I know. What were you going to say, Eludra?
I was gonna say it's really unfair for them to be come play with your friends. Only you can't really play with your friends.
You can play with your guild. You can play with your friends.
Yeah, but it's still
Yeah.
Part of the reason for that is that it's one of the ways that they're trying to keep botters from happening, which is also part of the reason that they have cred in the game is that they are basically cutting it off at the head for gold spammers and things like that. They're very aggressive with that stuff. The guest passes have those restrictions for a reason. So, which I think Stig, who's in the chat room, and I invited him to the guild earlier tonight. He had a guest pass for I think a day or two, and then ended up buying the game. So, somebody as busy as Stig, if he went out and bought the game, that might tell you something.
So where are we at with the GURP process? Because obviously we've at least started it because we're,
One of the things I made sure to do with that is, because I love the GURP, right? I'm all about the GURP.
Oh, yes.
Every day I'm GURPing. But, hey, it's in my SIG. But we're actually pushed to settlement before the game launched because we had basically completed all the steps to be a settlement-phased guild. And for people who track that stuff, it's basically okay, you've got all your ducks in a row, the game's live or at least widely available for everyone to play, your policies are there, your officer core is there, and really the only place we can go after this is, I guess everyone's still playing the game. Umami's integrated, and we've moved your forum out of the, into its own little unique area out of the Imperium Ludi forums. So once we hit that, then it's domain. But that's really a technicality. We'll get there when we get there. Right now, I think everyone's just mostly concerned about getting into the game, having fun. But yeah, we're settlement GURP phase right now.
Great. So wow, it says in the show notes here that you spent 150 hours plus in the beta, Cav.
Yes, when
What?
and this is
Wow.
like I was
Freak.
saying, website I was writing a lot during the beta, doing beta experience articles, things like that, going zone by zone. That's actually not even considered in there. It took me over 150 hours. It actually took me 180 hours to get to level 43, and that was with doing
Wow.
everything. Um,
Oh
and
my.
granted, that was standing here and there, looking at this stuff, looking at that stuff, learning how to do things. It'll speed up if you know what you're doing. But they said that the fastest person, Carbine said that the fastest person to get to level cap, not doing path missions, trade skills, or anything, it took him 89 hours.
Wow.
And so yeah, the game has it's part of the reason for that is that you know the telegraph system in the game makes it very much like an action game. They're basically what telegraphs are is they are little things on the ground in different shapes and different colors and all that fun stuff, showing you what attacks you're doing, showing you what attacks the enemy is doing. You want to stay out of the red telegraphs, and you want to make sure the enemy is in your telegraphs. Part of the reason for that is for the long time that it took to level is because the game is like that. You can't go AFK. I've gone AFK in spots that I thought I was perfectly safe and come back to dead. So
Yeah, if you're in the center of town, you're probably okay. But if you're out in the wilderness of the planet, yeah, it's a random patrol that has a 3-hour patrol of the zone might come by and kill you. That has certainly happened when I was eating dinner and all of a sudden heard the sounds of action from the other room, and I went in and had to whoa, hurriedly try to make sure that I didn't die.
yeah. So there's questing. One of the things that I don't think Wildstar gets enough credit for is it is a completely new IP. It is not part of any previous game. Chad Pappy-Moore, the lore guy, and his team have done an amazing job setting up the lore, getting the game out there. And so the game, a little bit about the game here. The game, you have your straight leveling. You have what are called ship hands, which can be it scales based on the number of people you have. It's basically a large group quest this instance. Think of scenarios in World of Warcraft with 1 to 5 people if you want to do them that way.
Is that adventures? Is that what they're called in this?
That is ship hands.
Ship hands. Okay.
Ship
What are
hands?
adventures then?
Wow.
Ship hands. So adventures are like 5-player dungeons, but they have different choices in the game. So when you first get into a ship hand, when you first get into an adventure, you're sitting there playing, and you go in. One of them on the exiles, which we are exiles in the game, is High Crest Insurrection. You go in there, you go into a barn. The NPCs start talking to you, and they say, okay, you've got 3 choices here. Choose one of these 3, and that's your quest that you have to go on. So it splits it up from there. From that point, you go finish that quest, and then you go meet them in a different area, and then you do it again. Different options. So when I was in the beta and I was trying to do an article on this, I ended up playing it about 20 something like 20 to 25 times. Never played the adventure the same way twice.
Oh, wow. So in other words, it forks like really, really broadly.
It does.
Okay. Wow. I have not done one of those yet, so I'm very curious.
The adventures are definitely more based around the lore of the game, the storytelling aspect of it. I'm not going to get into the technicalities of it other than to say it's a simulation on what happens, and that's how they kind of show the different ways to do it. There are different adventures in the game. The High Crest Insurrection, the first one you get into, is pretty straight. Help these people defeat the Dominion, blah blah blah. Some of the other ones you get into, there's one that's higher up, which is designed like a MOBA. So there you go, Zod. It's designed like a MOBA. There's another one where you basically are a biker gang and something happens while you're out, and you have to go investigate and figure out what's going on. And then they also have
Wild hogs.
Exactly. I prefer
Azeroth choppers.
But yeah, so the last one that I know of, anyways, is basically Oregon Trail.
Oh, nice. Can you dive to space dysentery?
Pretty
Couldn't
close.
just be dysentery.
Dysentery in space.
Yeah. So that's ship hands. That's adventures. Dungeons are very hard. Basically, take your 10-man WoW raids. That's what 5-man dungeons are like in Wildstar.
I have not gotten there yet, so that's yeah. I've heard that you actually need to do kill order, crowd control, like all of these things that people have not done for months in games because they haven't had to, have made a resurgence in Wildstar. So I'm going to be very curious when I'm actually high enough level to actually do one.
Yeah, you have to coordinate your stuns and things like that. There's a lot of them. I was in Storm Town with some guildies last night. I think we were in there for 2 or 3 hours, and only it was the first time I think 3 of them were in there, and we managed to get to the second boss in that time of the 3 bosses.
Wow.
So yeah, it's one of those things that as you learn them, you'll obviously go faster. But when you're learning it, it's a pain in the butt. So
well, certainly, yeah. It's and also, Kazarick did mention this game does not have mob tagging. So if you are working on a quest and you see someone killing a mob that you need, you can help them, and you both get credit, which is so awesome.
and to make the questing kill 10x a little more interesting, sometimes you may find yourself killing 10x, and then all of a sudden challenge pops up.
Yes.
And it's this little thing you can do in the area, like where you can kill this many of them or knock down this many of them with some special ability, and you get these little challenge rewards if you complete it within a certain amount of time. So if you see anyone else killing the mobs that you need for your challenge, run after and kill them too, because they will count towards your challenge progression. So it just little things like this liven up the doldrums of what you might normally experience in MMO questing. So it was well done.
Yeah. Well, another thing is they have kill 10x. Well, they got rid of that in Wildstar and made it you have to fill this bar, and well, you're still killing 10 of these things. You're just filling a bar at this point. The way they've changed that up a bit is that you have easier mobs and you have harder mobs. The harder mobs fill the bar faster, easier fill it slower, but you can kill them faster. So things like that. So yeah, other than that, you got dungeons. Dungeons are hardcore. They're difficult. Other than that, you have your typical battlegrounds, your arenas, things like that. On top of that, you have 40-man war plots. War plots, basically, you take a base, you build a base with different plugs, the same way as the housing, which, by the way, Wildstar has housing.
It's awesome.
But war plots, you take a base that you and 39 other people in your war party build, and then you take your base and put it up against another base. So think of battlegrounds that you personalize, and that's war parties and war plots for you.
Sounds really cool.
And think about capturing a raid boss and turning it loose.
on another person's
party has to fight. Yeah.
Right.
And so one of the few complaints I have just talking about group quests a little bit is some of the things that you would think that, because I was doing from level basically 4 to 10, we did everything in a 5-man group. So we went from quest to quest and did everything. Some of the things you just had to collect 5 times the amount, like a thing you had to pick up off the ground. We just had to find 5 times the amount. And some of them, it was like, oh, anyone picks it up, it also fills your bar. So that's one thing that I think they're still working out some of that stuff, but it's still very early in the game.
That did seem to be a little inconsistent. I've been noticing the same thing.
That's my only complaint, that it doesn't have consistent behavior, because the ones obviously that if there's 5 of you and you're doing this quest, and if everyone can grab stuff and it fills up everyone's bar, the quest goes way faster, because you only you need to find 2 instead of 10, and that way everyone's. So that was really my only complaint so far that I've had with questing, that I just wish there was a little more consistent behavior in the way that things behaved.
Well, and to go along with the questing in group content, real quick here, the group, when you're in a group, you have things like that, but you also have, if you're killing stuff, um, the XP split amongst the group is 5 ways, plain and simple. With
Yep.
no mob tagging, if you run up and somebody's fighting something, and you do 20% of the damage that kills it, your XP scales that you get off that kill based on that. So if you do 80% of the damage, then it works to your advantage. If you're doing 20%, you're still getting something for it, just not as much as if you did it all by yourself. So.
But I think that's a good compromise. But I did notice that leveling, because we played for probably 5 hours on Saturday, like all told between patching and all the other stuff, and people not being in the queues in the same position and all that sort of stuff. We only got to level 10, and it's because everything we were doing, experience was being split. So that definitely affected things. It was still a lot of fun, but it's something definitely to consider. Yeah,
while we're also talking about grouping and whatnot, two important things. If you're just starting fresh into the game, we're exiles, so you're going through the Ark ship. You do your introductory quest that will eventually get you off the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Before you leave the ship, take note, if you're wanting to play with a friend, what your landing area options are.
That's true.
Even though you may go to turn your quest into this one faction or one racial leader, so to speak, you will have the option to go to the other landing departure area. So you should be able to meet up and land in the same area if you want.
Right. So
because
the
if you
exiles
land in
basically
separate
have
areas,
two
it can be
choices.
very hard to find each other.
It's a long run,
Exactly.
long, dangerous run at level 3 to get like across the map. Essentially, you have to cross an entire zone map.
Just recall Vanilla WoW when you roll a night elf and everyone else
is an Iron Forge.
Run. You had to run across continents and take ships just to get to your friends. But the other important thing about grouping, in Wildstar, the guild grouping with guild mates is huge because we actually have a guild currency called influence, and we earn influence by people actually grouping up. So I know the appeal to just sort of like, all right, everyone, no, back away. I'm trying to immerse myself and enjoy. Hey, if you run by someone with an AIE tag and they're in the same area working on this, group up, because the more influence we get, the more cool things we can buy, like boosts to influence earned, for example, experience boosts, the ability to call a mobile bank, the ability to purchase experience potions or elixirs, things of this nature. The banks, yes, we want to build, we want to actually expand the guild bank. So, by all means, speak up in guild chat and Ventrilo, and group up, have fun together.
And there is also, even if you happen to be playing on a different server, we hope you're playing with AIE, obviously, but if you group with even one other person, there is another currency called Renown that for every mob that you kill, essentially you get Renown, which you can use. Apparently there's a mount you can buy. So instead of having to spend gold, because at level 15 you can finally buy a mount, but it costs 10 gold, which will probably be most of your gold at level 15. It's entirely possible you might have more, but you can purchase it with Renown instead, and that won't take away from your main gold.
The Renown is basically, SWTOR has their social points, but the time I played SWTOR, those social points didn't really mean much. It may have changed since then, but Renown is actually used to purchase the XP elixirs and things like that he was mentioning that we unlock with guild influence. So Renown is basically social points. If you're grouping up with anybody, not just guild, if you group up with anybody and do something, you get Renown. Renown can then be used to purchase decor for your home, mounts, customization for your mounts, all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's Renown is probably second most important to actual gold in the game for currency. And then obviously XP has PvP has its own currency, and from there, that's one of the other things that you just need to keep an eye on for. With that said, XP at the end of the game, when you hit level 50, your XP then turns into Elder Points. Elder Points is what they call for the Elder game. And so you get these Elder Gems that will unlock certain things. You can buy these bigger things, big epic things for your house, things like that. With Elder Gems, and you can get 140 Elder Gems a week, but you get the Elder Gems by filling up your XP bar or your Elder Points bar that comes with hitting level cap. So as soon as you do that, your XP bar is still going to be in use.
Hold on. You guys are saying it all wrong. Okay, you're saying Elder Points. No, it should be the Elder Points. Come on.
What's funny is
Elder Points.
I didn't actually know that. I didn't actually know that once you hit because level cap is a ways off for me. I'm not really concerned with that happening anytime soon. So, level 14 so far and level 10. So yeah, not.
We haven't even talked about rating. We just left rating on. It looks insane. But
yes,
I'm
it looks
willing to give it a shot.
Hard.
We need about 5 podcasts to get through everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will definitely have you guys on again soon because we need to start.
Wildstar truly has something that appeals to literally every kind of play style. I mean, you can really do it all.
So with that said, real quick, I'll throw this in there. Guild Wars 2, they have a very active story. It's a very quick-paced story. Content releases, very, very soon. By the end of this month, by the end of June, we will have a content patch. They already have 16 months worth of content in the pipes that they will be releasing. The goal is to do it once a month, and they want to, if you're a solo player, they have stuff for you too. They're going to have solo instances that you can do at the end of the leveling, and that's so that PvPers have their battlegrounds, their arenas, stuff like that. Raiders have their raiding. Well, the solo player kind of gets left out in a lot of games at the end of it. So they will have solo content, and that is one thing that they are very big on. Is that Gaffney, who is the head honcho for Carbine, likes to throw this number around. Roughly 65% of people are solo players in MMOs. So they really need to get that solo content out there. And
you shouldn't be. You should be playing an AIE.
Because we're
awesome. And you get free stuff just for grouping with people. So that's it behooves you to.
Where's my free stuff? And the other thing about this too is their sort of commitment to this monthly content update is, even though it's a subscription game, their basic deal is, you're paying us every month, so we want to be giving you something every month. They really do want to keep you invested in their game since you are paying them every month.
Man, I hope they can keep that up, because even though they're 16 months ahead, that time evaporates really quickly when you're talking about dev time. So,
yes, it does.
Yeah.
Correct. Well, they've said that half the developers are working on future content, half the developers are basically on
fixing
reactive.
bugs.
Yeah, fixing bugs and making sure things work correctly. Within the first month, we're going to get a whole new zone already. So
wow. Okay. Yeah. I'm not done with the ones that we have.
That new level 50 zone was done even before the game went gold. I mean, they were ready to go in the pipe with that whole new continent.
Wow.
Well, that's ambitious. I hope they can continue that. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Well, the part of the reason, if you look at the map is finite. One of the cool things though that I found in beta is that the art and the people that created the maps, you can go way off the map and you'll find islands out there and stuff like that. So just because you don't see it on the world map doesn't mean that they don't have land to put in there. So that's really cool.
Nice. So in other words, there's uncharted places of the world.
Correct. There are uncharted places that they could potentially turn into more zones.
Sweet. Oh yeah. So if I wasn't already pumped to play the game, it's a really good game, folks. There's I'm sure lots of people have guest keys. I'm sorry the guest keys are limited, but I think it's literally to give you a taste. I think it's, hey, is this going to be your sort of thing? Because it is a very active game. I still remember the days. Yeah, exactly. I still remember the days of EQ though, where you have 8 things you can do. It's like, oh, I'm going to cast a spell. and you'd press the button, and then you would wait for, that spell costs 8 seconds to cast. That's not the case in this game. It is, you are moving around, you're dodging things. It is a very, very active game, no matter what class you play. All of them are
exploding
very, very
and
active.
falling from the sky.
Yeah.
But if you're even on the fence or just want to get a taste of it, if you go to our blog, right? AIE-guild.org, right?
Yes.
The last Wildstar post, which will be somewhere down below those Eve posts you keep seeing, there's a features video. Watch the features video. It basically literally walks you through every facet of what's available in the game. And look at the animation. Look at the artwork. Even though it's quote-unquote cartoony, the characters are very expressive. The landscapes are beautiful. And, I'm sold, clearly. It's a great game. Definitely check it out.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that people say is, oh, it's a WoW clone. And I will agree with that to an extent when it comes to the looks, but if you compare the looks to it closer to how Pixar does theirs versus WoW, you're going to get a better feel for it. It's much more cartoony. The world is extremely vibrant. Bright blues and greens and things like that. You're going to hit that a lot. And everything you do in the game. One of the things that my class does, where he jumps out and he jumps back in, and I posted a picture on Twitter the other day. He looks like he's going Super Saiyan because they've just got all these colors and everything around him. It's so cool, and there's just it never fails. I've been playing this game since December in the beta, and it never fails. I find something new every single day. It's the little things. If you're eating buff food, or if you're eating food, little nom 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 appears above your character, or when you taunt somebody in a dungeon, if you're playing with others, a little ha 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 appears above your character. I mean, it's little details like that is what really draws you in. And it's just there's just so much that you find in this game. We were playing Storm Talon last night, and we found this manual. It was a healing gun manual, and the first line in it says, unless your face is the affected part that needs healed, do not point the gun at your face. Stuff like that. There's these little Chua, which are just basically scientific rodents. They're for Dominion, I have to say that.
Psychotic rodents.
Yeah, they're psychotic. But they're trying to explain to one of the other races that are a very warrior race, and they say, look, if something's broken, like you find this manual and it says, if it's broken, call a Chua. If it's broken, do not touch it. Call a Chua. Stuff like that. I mean, you find that kind of humor. That kind of humor is all throughout it. When the game cusses. The narrative in the game will cuss at you. When you level up, this huge screen pops up that says level up, and you get the narrator for every 50 level or every 49 levels, because you start out at level 1. Every 49 levels, you have a different narrative for when you level up, and he says things like "Holy beep, Cupcake."
Yeah, he doesn't actually cuss at you. It is bleeped. It is a kid friendly version of that.
The heavy metal riff.
Guys, we unfortunately need to wrap it up. I know we could continue to talk for hours and hours, but I need to edit, and Zod needs to sleep for his 2 hours so he can get up and code again. So that's our show for this evening. We want to thank both Cav and Duras for joining us. Cav, where can people find you on the web, Twitter, and otherwise?
You can find me at Twitter at SamuraiCav, and also I write for the Wildstar-core.com. There's also a Twitter called Nexus Report that I tweet from as well. That's the official Twitter for our writing area.
Okay. And Duras, how about you?
I'm here. At the Duras, all one word.
Okay.
Working in the Imperium Ludi forums, hanging out in Jabber, I'm around.
Okay, so next week we will be talking to who has not been named yet. Tune in to see who it is. Duras is threatening with show tunes or snoring. I think I will probably just say there's no show if that's what. Sorry, Duras, that's just not something I'm interested in.
An hour of Duras snoring.
Press to snore.
Stay tuned as we've got a full ride of great AIE member segments coming right up, including Ask Miss Mulgra, Azeroth Archives, overly dramatic news, and much lesser-known Shaws.
But first, if you need to reach us, you can interact with the show by emailing us at podcast@aie-guild.org. Follow us on Twitter. The show is at AIE Podcast. Gomez is at Show Not Found. I am at Accusad. And Aludra is at Aludra_AIE because she's all cool with the underscores and stuff. We record live with video every Thursday. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. You can join the chat room and play along with us, or you can watch one of our past shows on our website at theaiepodcast.com. Our theme was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. You can follow him at Keys with Soul or visit his website, keyswithsoul.com.
Until next time, AIE, this is Gomez.
This is Aludra.
This is Accusad.
And this has been the AIE Podcast. Okay. We need a show title. So, Duras and Cav, look in the chat room. Chat room, you know the drill. We need a show title.
Duras and Cav, you guys have to choose the lucky show title winner.
Ooh.
And they will start doing show titles in about 30
seconds. And we'll
seconds.
start seeing titles in about 20 seconds.
Yeah, the delay is a little tedious.
Man,
But, you know.
I apparently just get to rambling.
Oh, we all do. It
Yeah.
happens.
Well, I was in Guild the other day answering questions, which is pretty much what I do when I'm working on articles and stuff. I sit in the game and answer questions in Guild chat, and I've had more than one person go, "God, you know everything about this game." Well, yeah, I kind of hobby to write about this game.
I've been
Yeah, I know. It's fine.
150 hours into this game so far, so
150 hours and not done hardly anything with it. So yeah.
I've not played nearly as much as I've wanted to. But,
what I've noticed, like,
life
the
is
people
busy.
seem really generally friendly and helpful. Like, just in general, in zone or in advice, or it's been really, really nice to say, like, lol, noob. Like, there hasn't been a whole heck of a lot of that, so
it's
maybe
a solid community.
pay for it.
Well, yeah, that could be too. Yeah, you're right. Wait until they give the free trials.
Yes, that could be.
Wow, looks like Sybil's the only one that's actually thrown anything out. Wild start for that has implications. We didn't go over the somewhat rocky launch, but even so.
Well,
it was
and
fun.
honestly, I don't think the launch was rocky. By the time the game actually officially launched, they had stuff nailed down. The head start was a little rocky, but
by then the DDoS had stopped, right?
Yeah, which is not their fault.
Well, I mean, there's such heavy PR associated with a smooth launch these days that you got guys who will do everything they can to deny a game that.
Yeah.
Come on, and we got Kaz, we've got Gimli, we got Brew. Come on, Brew, throw something out there. even I call them apples. Come on, Apples, throw something our way. Lotwook, Dance Party, come on.
Well, Dance Party, I think, was just because we all dance awkwardly.
Yeah, I saw that little. I thought your head was going to fall off. You okay? That you can just.
I'm fine.
Yeah, one of the things I didn't get to was that the game actually sometime soon they will actually have guild housing in the game, which is they're going to call it guild neighborhoods, and basically if you take your housing plot that you get, which for Zod and Aludra, assuming either one of you play it, you have housing plots that float in the sky. You can see other housing plots. And they're going to have guild neighborhoods that, according to Joe P., who is in charge of that, the guild neighborhoods are going to make the housing plot tiny. So we're going to have massive guild neighborhoods.
No, the housing is cool, but also a horrible money sink. Oh my God, horrible money sink.
Right,
Wild start for Wildstar.
Okay, we're gonna.
I gotta go.
Yeah. I guess we're going with Sybil's. No one else is submitting.
Wait. Here we go.
Deep space. So if you have to go, that's cool, Ludra.
Space. All right.
Okay, bye guys. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Or we
It's
could
been
just
fun.
say space cupcakes.
Sure. Whatever you guys want to do.
You are in charge. What do you want the title to be?
I say go with space cupcakes.
There we go.
It is at the top of the document. Okay.
So who gets credit for that one? So you mean Doris?
No one.
Apple's.
No one gets credit.
No, Apple's.
Oh, yeah, no, that's true. Apple's. We'll give Apple's that one.
Where
Apple's,
no
it is all yours.
So thank you, chat room, and we will see you hopefully on, I don't remember what's the name of the planet. Man, I'm already flipping. Nexus. See you on
that's
Nexus.
where Heroes of the Storm
Farside
is.
and other things. Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny? I thought about that too.
Ooh, maybe I can come over and fight with you guys.
Yeah, bring the tank. What's her name? I can't remember. I like playing her.
I love Nova. Okay, anyway, so I'm turning the stream off. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye. And thank you